Here we're going to look at Descartes' rule of signs. So it's a shortcut to saying how many real zeros do you have. Admittedly, I'll tell you this was probably a much bigger thing if you're not using your calculator or also not graphing them to see where the zeros are. If you were just searching blindly and you couldn't graph them at least easily like we can now in your calculator, knowing how many to look for would really, really save you time. So here what we're doing is counting the number of sign changes. So notice this goes from negative to positive, so there's one sign change. Then it goes from positive 5 to negative 5, so there's a second sign change. Then it goes from negative 5 to 3, so there's a third sign change. And then notice here it goes positive to positive, so there's only 3 sign changes. So that means there could be up to 3 positive real zeros, or there could be 1. That part where they say or less than that by an even number. So say if you've got like 5 sign changes, it could be 5, 3, or 1. It can't be less than it by 1. Alright, so how do we get the negative real zeros? Well, we look back at this same equation and we say, what if we change x to negative x? What would happen? Well, here, because this is to the 4th, that would cancel anyways. This one's to the 3rd, so that negative would stay, or we could pull it out front. This one would cancel. This one would stay. So now we have to count the number of sign changes in this. Well, it looks like all along here there's no sign change. It stays negative, 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 negative. So there's just one sign change from negative to positive for that last term. So there could possibly be one negative real zero. Just a side note thing for thought that areas or majors that have nothing related to each other. You think, I'm a philosophy major, why do I need to take math? René Descartes was a French philosopher, and if you've heard of him before, he's most famous for that quote, "I think, therefore I am." It was actually quite common for a lot of people who are interested in philosophy or math, vice versa, to be involved in both. So if you ever heard that saying before, "I think, therefore I am," obviously much more famous than Descartes' rule of signs, but this is the pattern that he noticed for positive and negative real zeros.